Hi, Jason Pilgrim here from the Profitable Practice Podcast, where we help allied health professionals just like you empower and inspire the lives of so many more people by building bigger and better businesses. Let's go and get stuck in right now.
Well, what the heck do spiders and your marketing have in common? Well, to be totally honest, I'm looking at what's just happened with a spider outside my window right now, and it's perfectly in line with the podcast I was about to write. So let's go ahead and find out why the spontaneity of your marketing is exactly what's just happened to this little spider outside. For most of us, we probably believe that our marketing is really clear, really thought out, and bang on point, and then let's be completely honest, guys, a lot of the time we don't get the results we want. We find out that the return on investment wasn't near where we were hoping for, and we get really frustrated, and I don't want that to be like that for you guys. And it's not just a matter of turning around and saying, hey, let's get better at planning these things, but I want to take a little sidestep for a sec, and I told you I was going to talk to you about spiders, and well, not spiders, but just a spider. And I want to tell you a little story that perfectly emphasizes this point. And so what I've just done is, just outside my window here in my office, I've got a beautiful view, blue sky, green grass. It's absolutely beautiful out there. And I just looked outside, and in the corner of the window right here was actually pretty ugly looking spider. I mean, look, I'm not the biggest fan of spiders in the first place anyway, and please don't jump down my throat for people that say that I should have left it alone, because you're probably going to know how this story is going to end. But here's the thing. I decided that I didn't like the spider being right there, and I'm not going to get all fatherly and protective and say, I have 3 young daughters and etc. The fact is, I don't like spiders. He had no right to be there, and I didn't want him to be there anymore. So instead of me risking my life, I decided that Mr. Mortein was probably going to be a better avenue for me to alleviate this spider of its troubles on my window. So anyway, I took to the spider with a can of Mortein. Only a little squirt, didn't want to use too much. But then, let's be completely honest, it probably wasn't enough. It probably wasn't focused enough, probably didn't have enough concentration, and as a net result, it started to squirm around a bit, and I knew that I didn't probably do a good enough job straight away. So then it got a bit frustrating, because then I sort of went, well, I have to do something. So I decided that I'd already put the can away out in the kitchen. So I didn't want to go and do it. And I thought I'd get myself busy just working. So as I started to get myself a little bit busier working, I find myself being distracted and frustrated by the fact that I've now got this poor little spider not little spider and not poor, and no, he's nasty. But anyway, I find myself getting into that situation of, now I need to actually do something about this, because he isn't quite really alive, and he's certainly not completely dead. So what do I do? Now, this might seem like a pointless story, but it's actually completely pertinent to exactly what we all tend to do in our businesses in the health industry. We decide something's frustrating or annoying, or we need more clients. Something needs to be done, and we decide to take to our marketing and to our business in a very rushed approach without thinking things through. Now, I went and grabbed a can of Mortein and tried to instantly just get the bang done and taken care of it. But here's the thing. There was probably a lot smarter ways of dealing with this, and you'll see how this actually unfolds as well. But I didn't then pay enough attention to what I was doing and how I was doing it, and the result that I wanted. Now, the result was pretty clear. I wanted that spider dead. But you and I both know that if you've got a fly screen and a window, and they're between the two, and you spray it and it dies, you've ridded yourself of the chance of getting bitten by the spider, but you haven't actually solved the problem that I had of, I didn't like the dirty big spider web that was between the glass and the the fly screen. And so now what I've now created is a knee-jerk reaction without a smart enough plan in place. And I've now got what's going to pretty much be a dead spider very, very soon. And it's probably borderline on that right now, with a dirty big cobweb that's now between a window and a fly screen. So I haven't got the desired result, and in many respects I've created myself more work. I now need to stop and think about how I want to achieve that actual original goal. I now need to go and spend more time, money and effort to actually do something about that, but I'm also sort of at arm's length because I don't really want to do something about it now until the spider's completely dead. So what I've actually done is I've now created more work for myself. I've created the fact that I didn't get the desired result in the first place, and what I'm actually going to end up doing is doing more work to get that end result, and I'm probably going to have to get a little bit messy, a little bit tricky with it, and doing things that probably aren't really the most efficient and effective. And let's be honest, guys, that's your marketing in the last couple of months. We all do it, right? We do something ad hoc, knee-jerk reaction. We decide we're going to get really prevalent on social media, so we start putting up posts every day, and after 2 weeks, we sort of die off a little bit because we haven't got the structure there. We don't know the net result. We're just sort of doing it because everyone else is doing it. Or maybe you've gone rushing out to do a whole bunch of visits, or maybe you've done a whole bunch of handouts. The old school approach that all of us used to have, those monthly newsletters and that type of stuff that a lot of people have thankfully stopped doing these days. But we tend to always have our marketing just following the latest shiny object or what someone else has done. Or you hear that someone's done X and got Y result, and we go, we want a bit of that too. So without spending the time and effort to actually address the problem and actually get the best avenues, maybe just looking at 2 or 3 options as to getting that desired result, we tend to be really spontaneous. Our spontaneous approach is we just have a knee-jerk reaction to what the latest fashion is, what the bright shiny object is, or maybe what was just either quick and easy at the time to make ourselves feel better that we've actually done some marketing apparently, or we go back to good old faithful what worked in 1990. So when we think about our marketing, we need to make sure that it's not spontaneous, that we don't have a reaction to something we see in the marketplace. We don't get fooled by, these marketing gurus saying, I just did this and made $1 million yesterday. We need to make sure that we're very clear in our approach and very calculated in what we're doing. And you need to set up that with a very clear structure, framework, and blueprint. Otherwise, you're going to do what I've just done with the spider, and try and rid yourself of a potential problem, or, hey, I've got too much white space on the diary and we need more growth, or maybe I've just hired a new team member, or I'm wanting to hire a new team member, but I've only got a part-time job employment situation for them and I really want to make it full-time. The thing is this, you need to be very smart around what you're doing. I suggest in all scenarios you make sure that you have at least 3 avenues of what you're wanting to be able to put in place, or 3 separate strategies is probably the best way of phrasing it. So that once you know your outcome, you actually have 3 different opportunities or 3 different strategies that you can at least look at and explore to actually work out what is going to be best in this situation. For me, right now, what I could have done is looking at that same mentality, rather than being spontaneous and just trying to spray it, I would have obviously made sure that if I chose to spray it, I actually used an appropriate amount of spray to get the desired result. But looking at it right now, I probably shouldn't have just gone and sprayed it. I probably should have just simply gone and made one little slight movement on the window and actually probably just caught him in this jar that's only probably about 1.5 meters away from me on my desk. I've got a pretty big desk here in this jar here, and I could have actually then just taken him outside, released him. Spider would have been okay. I would have actually been okay, and I would have been able to simply take a cloth and just wipe away the spider web. Problem solved, great result, and would have been able to move on fast and effective. So what's this all saying about your marketing right now? Are you actually marketing based on what you know is in the best interests of your business and your team? Or are you just following or trying to follow the trends? Are you just trying to be in a scenario of following and getting that result that you heard someone else get? Is that the best thing for you right now? Are there other avenues of your business that you should be concentrating on? Quite often, it's not actually necessarily about going and getting new leads on your marketing, but it's actually being able to work better with the retention or maybe reactivation of your clients. Now, when we looked at health businesses, we actually break it down in our Genius model, thanks to Simon Bowen, into three main areas. And one of those main areas is in and around marketing, because it is a big part of your business. And it definitely is a major area of what makes a successful health business. And so what we do is we then have that broken down into the three accelerators. So each of the three big areas breaks down into three separate accelerators. So there's 9 of them. And so in there is referrals, retention, and reactivation. And those are what the three accelerators that improve your marketing. So rather than being spontaneous and always trying to grab new leads and just doing what most of the time will leave you disappointed, it won't drive the outcome that you're actually wanting and potentially leaves you in a harder situation with now another scenario that you have to be able to solve, just like me and this spider. What you need to be able to sometimes do is understand that the best form of marketing for you right now is to work on your retention. Maybe it's to actually reactivate clients that have previously been part of your business and not just always look for what you believe are the new avenue that's going to make your fortune in the way of new leads. Because here's the thing. It's more expensive to buy new clients than what it is to earn money from clients that are already with you by having better retention, and it's a heck of a lot more expensive to buy new clients than what it is to actually reactivate clients you've already got. So there's today's little lesson, guys. We've got to make sure that with our marketing, we're not spontaneously running out, following other people and moving in that avenue. When can you honestly say you sat down and looked at your retention in your business? I'd be saying to you, what are the 3 to 5 strategies that you use for every single client in your business to make sure you retain them as loyal clients, as raving fans? And when was the last time you actually sat down and looked at the reactivation campaigns or methodologies and strategies to actually get clients that have previously been into your business a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, because let's be honest, if you haven't communicated with them in the last 3 months alone, they're not your clients anymore. They're someone else's prospect. So don't spontaneously run around now and go, oh my God, I quickly got to do this. What I'm saying is be very clear about what you're doing. Set aside some time to actually sit down and go through those and categorically write down the 3 to 5 strategies you're going to put in place to work on the retention and reactivation in your business. Because otherwise, if you just keep a spontaneous approach to marketing in regards to your new leads, it's going to be just like what I've done for myself right now with this spider. You're probably going to get frustrated. You're not going to get the desired result 9 times out of 10 that you want. You could be putting yourself more at risk of having to do more work, trying to be more efficient and effective to achieve the desired result, and overall it stunts your ability to grow. It's stunted my ability to now actually do other things that I want to do or that are more important or that will change more lives. Instead, I've got to go and clean up a bit of a mess here with the spider, which he has actually died, and I've got to go and get all that done before I can actually move on. And it's just like us with our marketing if we be spontaneous and jump from one thing to another. So plan it out. Make sure we're very smart about it. Make sure you go through at least 3 different options for any new marketing that you actually have for new referrals and clients. And make sure that you have at least 3 to 5 strategies in place that you actively engage with to make sure that you get the right retention more and more with every client, and that you can actually then go ahead and reactivate clients, because it's a lot easier to reactivate clients that are fans of yours than to go out and buy new customers. So guys, I'm going to go and clean up the mess here. Apologies to the little spider here. Please don't send any hate mail for those spider-loving people that might be listening to this podcast. Guys, for now, go and have a great day. Make sure that you work on the referrals, the retention, and the reactivation, and make sure that you do a better job with your marketing and don't be spontaneous with marketing like I have with this little spider, big bad spider right here today. Cheers for now.
Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.